There was a drone attack on Moscow around a day ago, and earlier today, this is May the 31st, 2023, here in South Korea, there was an attack on an oil refinery close to the Ukrainian border. Now, the attack on Moscow was described as a terrorist attack by Putin and other senior members of the Russian government. However, it turns out that the drones, there were something like 8 that were launched, and I believe that 5 of them were shot down by air defense systems, and 3 of them had their were combated with electronic warfare. In other words, signals were sent out to interrupt the drone's navigation. The drones went off course, and when they crashed into buildings, it was because they are already flying off their programmed targeting. Now, the reason why that's significant is because the bombs detonated against apartment buildings in Moscow, in an apparently sort of upscale neighborhood, rather posh, elite neighborhood. But those explosions against residential buildings were not, it would seem, the intended targets. This explanation / excuse was used by the Russians themselves quite a bit earlier in the war in Ukraine, when, for example, a train station was hit by a Russian missile. There have been a few cases like this with schools and so forth being hit, and the reason given that these missiles were not intended to hit those targets, but were blown off course by aerial self-defense within Ukraine. Now the situation is reversed. The problem, of course, is that tempers are running very, very high. The Russian ambassador to Washington has been absolutely scathing, saying that the U.S. is sort of winking at this, and the Russians are fuming and, of course, claiming retribution.